Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to take a flower shelf and redo it, or a plant stand if you want to call it that. I'm taking some Rust-Oleum hammered metal paint and primer, and I'm respraying it. I'm using black this time. Last time I think I used the copper, but that was a few years ago and it's kind of scratched up now. This is actually one of those old brassy looking, it had glass shelves in it for inside the house. But it's pretty stout and heavy, so I'm using it for outside. Don't ask me why I put the picture in twice. I don't know. We're going to paint it down all the way. And it's going to be in a semi-shaded area on my porch. I don't actually have a covering on the porch, but my eaves hang out about 2.5 feet. This is the shelves I took off that I had put on a couple years ago. They were really thin. There was no meat to them. You couldn't put the screw in them without them popping through the sides. But I've got this stack of wood that I got for free. And that's my favorite thing, free. And we're going to build some shelves to put in. I'm building a shelf for the bottom, and then we're going to put 4 shelves on the upper portions of it. I could lay these across the bottom, but they would more than likely slide back and forth, so I'm going to put a board on the inside on both sides to keep it from sliding forward and back. And I'm using glue because I have plenty of it, and some of these little cheap nails. Kind of like picture hanging nails, but they'll hold it in place until it dries. It was cheaper to buy the glue than it was to buy the screws. And I start off by putting one nail in each end, and then I realized that it kind of moves. So I'm going to go back, and you'll see me go back and add a second nail to each board when I realize that that's happening. I think on this one. And then we're going to give it a sand. I'm just rough sanding it with a 60 grit sandpaper. It doesn't have to be fine. You're not putting it in the house. It doesn't have to be fine furniture. Just something to set my plants on. And that's why I went back and added the second nail. I had a little tiny, like, quarter of an inch of stain left in the can. So I've poured in some 70% isopropyl alcohol to stretch it, because it doesn't have to be that dark. I'm just giving it a good coating, and I'm going to dry it off. Later I'll seal it with some matte gloss paint, or matte paint, clear. Somehow I doubt this wood is pressure treated or treated for outdoors. So it doesn't seem to bother it though if it gets wet. So I've got a whole stack of this wood, and you're going to see me do a few more things with it in the coming weeks. And for some reason, the way the holes are drilled out, they're not even. They're not. They don't have the exact same measurement. No matter where you go on there, all three of them are different. So, and I started out with a bubble level, but then I realized it's sitting on a small hill, so it's really not going to help. So I'm more eyeballed it after the first one. I'm actually putting in the screws that I took out with the last boards, and some of them are kind of stripped. So you'll see me in a minute go change to something else. I'm gonna change to a different screw. Then I'll have to go take these out. Yeah, this first one was time consuming because I was trying to use that level. You'll see in a minute I threw the level to the side and said foot on that. And it'll speed it up quite a bit. Here comes my supervisor. Yeah, you'll notice I forgot to stain that middle one. But I'll go back and get it later. And there's the clear matte sealing paint, sealer paint. It didn't turn out half bad. And there it is put together. Thanks for watching.